Okay, Jim, it's been a really, really, my opinion, significant year in environmental beat.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly chloride and the drought, mainly
Yes.
the drought.
Well, the nice thing is that the chloride sort of came to a natural end in that the community came up with a solution, the Sand District came up with a solution, and we have a way of dealing with it now.
Right.
So that's done. But at the same time, the drought has emerged as being a protracted third year. And what really set this year off in terms of looking at the drought and making this sort of the priority issue on the environment front this year was a meeting in February when the water committee of all the water heads in Santa Clarita met. And they showed two photographs, and that was the snowpacks in the Sierra Nevadas for the year prior, which was, white, snowy snowpacks. And then this year, which was brown. Now, we get half our water from the Sierra Nevadas primarily from melted snow that feeds the river, recharges the dams and reservoirs, and that's our water. Well, there's no snow to melt, so there's no water to get. So it became very, very clear very early on in the year that we were going to have a very serious drought situation on our hands. What normally, our water supplier gets for an allocation from the state as 50% of what they wanted, they got 5%. And in the end, they got really virtually nothing, which leaves we rely on water that we've banked, stored, or from our own wells. So it led to a dire situation, and then halfway through the year, they came up with a water scheduling system. Other communities, they've had to have rationing, but because of our leadership on the waterfront, that didn't have to happen. They had stored enough water, but we did have a water schedule. We met with a lot of response, and that was sort of the highlight of this year's drought story, is dealing with a water schedule.
It actually hit home to people this year.
Oh yeah, because they were saying, I'm going to rat out my neighbor because he's watering his lawn 7 times a week. He's not water conscious, so I'm going to call him. I'm going to call them on him.
And the water officials say they haven't handed out any citations. Is this, we're getting a little bit of rain this winter, but we're still in a drought, and we will be in a drought. Do you think there's going to be real heavy-handed tactics coming down next year or the following year, unless we get 35 inches of rain this year, from water officials locally?
No, my own gut feeling is that we have a really smart brain trust of water officials in our valley. After covering them for so many years here, I'm very confident in saying that. I think that the water situation is going to be very good for Santa Clarita Valley people. That said, if there's no water coming from the state, no water in the ground, they can't make it magically appear. It's going to get dire no matter who they are sitting in there trying to make decisions. But I don't see that happening this year or the next year. However, if it's a multi-year protracted drought that continues year after year, it's going to lead to rationing and other things that.
But locally here, they've had a really good long-range view of things way back.
Absolutely, yes. The Rio Vista agreement that they have, Bravo Vista, I can't remember, Rio Vista.
Some
Vista. And with the Kern County Water District, they've had these arrangements in place, and then they've secured water for times of drought like we were in. Yeah. But if it happens again this year, that's going to be a pinch, and then if it happens the year after, that's even a greater pinch. So sooner or later, it's going to be felt. Let's hope it rains like it did last week. It rains every week.
It's supposed to, and hopefully it'll do it every week this winter.
Absolutely, yeah.